Okay, YouTube, we're going to get into some more AI conversations. This time, I want to talk about deepfakes, AI deepfakes, AI content, AI slop that you see infecting your social media feeds. Now, if you saw one of the previous videos in this series, you'll know that I'm coming up with video content that AI thinks Canadians might want to know just because we are at max fear, max red tape. Pretty much, we don't even want to touch anything AI because we think it might hurt us. A lot of people get disturbed or they get annoyed at how much AI content is flooding the internet in Canada. This is just a product of how available AI technology has become to everyday people. When AI started, it was a few research teams, technologists looking at conversational AI, trying to figure out how to make these robots reason better and be more productive. And then we hit a point where they were so productive and so useful that people who might not even necessarily knew too much about the technology were able to put together tools that allowed everyday people to create content, create videos, create images that were completely AI generated, not rooted in reality whatsoever, quite literally rooted in the imagination. And so that's led a lot of people to get upset with what's going on with AI deepfakes, seeing their favorite influencer talking about something that has nothing to do with what they normally talk about. It gets pretty annoying. You see a lot of politicians get deepfaked. I'm on YouTube, going through YouTube videos, and I'll have Mark Carney come up on a YouTube ad. Like literally, YouTube allowed this person to run this ad of Mark Carney doing a deep fake trying to get you to get involved in a crypto scam. Like that's how pervasive it is, where not even YouTube's ad filter controls and even their AI filters that they use AI to defend against like AI slop on their ad machine, and that's not even able to pick up some of these deepfakes. So we're at a point now with this technology where even the most powerful groups, in terms of technological know-how, i.e., YouTube and Google, they're having to combat all of this content creation in a way that makes it safe for their users. But the thing is, and this is the one thing we all have to really grapple with, this is the new reality of the internet. When social media came out, it was, hey, now we have all these different people talking about all these different things. They post whatever they want to all these platforms. And then you see Facebook try to sort of control that, with their policies on sharing. All the other platforms sort of took a stance where they have a policy on the types of content that's being shared. But it was a new reality. We were able to connect with people that we couldn't talk to normally every single day, and we were able to share things at warp speed. Now everything goes through social media. Everything literally goes through social media now. Even the news uses social media as a reference for different pieces, different conversation topics. The deep fake AI catastrophe started on social media, and then the news picked it up. So we're seeing social media sort of take hold of our society in a way that it wasn't doing so before. The same thing is going to happen with AI generated content. At some point in time, 99% of the content online is going to be AI generated, just because it's generated faster and it's generally more uh, subjectively acceptable to see and understand, because it's coherent. It's like we understand what we're looking at. We see people playing with animals, or we see a politician running around saying things. We can understand that, and so it's easier for people to look at and perceive as real. And so this is sort of where understanding how AI generates this content and how easy it is to generate this content will arm you with being aware that what you're looking at might not necessarily be people being having their picture taken or video taken this is actually just an AI generated piece of content that some bozo behind his computer put together. Probably some a bozo just like me. But I'm not so much into the video stuff. Like, we have some videos of Sasha, our AI assistant, trying to bring her to life on TikTok. Fun stuff, having her visit small business owners and stuff like that. But nothing like how pervasive some of the like caveman video. I think is that caveman or gorilla man videos where the gorillas are running around doing different stuff. I, I can't keep up so much of that stuff because we're doing more of the AI operations and stuff like that. But whenever I put up a YouTube video having a conversation about AI and why it's taking Canada so long to adopt it, a lot of the comments we get, I'm just reading comments this morning saying, what about all this AI deepfake stuff on my social media? What about all this? What about that? Arming yourself with knowledge is your best defense against information. I would even go as far as information warfare at this point, just because everyone's trying to get as many views as possible. So I'm going to ask the original chat conversation that we were having to come up with a conversation piece that we can put into another terminal or to another chat where we can just say, hey, I want to have a conversation with you about AI deepfakes and sort of some of the things that we can do or learn to make sure that we understand, this is a deepfake, this is something that someone put together. It's not necessarily rooted in reality. So hello again, Alex here. Actually, why am I typing? Man, let's do this. Hi, can you hear me? It's Alex again. I want to come up with a prompt that I can take from this conversation with you, put it into a brand new chat, and that chat that I have with that terminal is going to basically be recorded, and it's going to be a meaningful conversation about AI deepfakes and sort of how we can arm ourselves against it, but also, I don't mind showing people how some of these tools are built, or not how they're built. Well, some of the tools that are building some of this AI content, just so they can see it's as easy as just talking, to an AI terminal to build stuff that might not necessarily be real. I want to have a meaningful conversation we can have on YouTube, and we can record it, the conversation with ChatGPT. Can you give me a prompt that outlines all that and take some of the context from this conversation, just so it aligns with some of the goals we're working on here? So what I just did was I went to a previous conversation that we had for another video talking about AI voice scams and how to defend yourselves against that. And now I'm asking the AI to sort of rejig the conversation so I can take a brand new prompt. This prompt is basically a query or a request you have for the AI. And I'm going to take that. I'm going to go to another fresh AI that's completely fresh, no conversation or history, determining what it's going to say. And I'm going to have a conversation about deepfakes with it, just to see how we can make it easier to understand and defend ourselves. So yeah, you are my conversation. So the new prompt, I'm going to take that prompt to use in new chat, copy, new chat, paste, and we're going to see what it says. So I'm taking one conversation from one AI, throwing it into another. And I do this all the time. Usually I'll have 4 or 5 terminals like this open doing work, but for the sake of this video, we're just going to use one. So here we go. I actually, it looks like it's coming up with a script here. And it says deepfakes are in Canada. They're getting harder to spot, from fake calls that sound just like a family member to videos that look real but aren't. Canadians are being targeted by scammers using AI, and the numbers are serious. The Canadian Anti-Fraud reported over 567 million in fraud lost in 2023, with scams targeting seniors taking a huge portion of that. Alex, you run a Canadian AI voice agency. When you hear those numbers, what's the first thing that comes to mind? And this could essentially, I think it's trying to start the conversation with me right here. You share your concern about the scams, but also believe the Canadians can learn about to protect themselves. Okay, so yeah, I definitely believe that Canadians are probably the most susceptible group living in a developed nation to AI deepfakes, AI scams, only because we have such little technology familiarity. Like I'm one of the only people that I know in tech in Canada. I literally had to build my team by training grown men from scratch how to understand AI technology, how to understand digital technology, API integrations, all that stuff. I had to train them from scratch, men that I trust, in order to get them up to the point of production for the business. I don't know anyone or have anyone around me like, oh, I'm going to hire you. You have a lot of experience. Or I'm going to get an intern coming out of a tech program in school. We don't have any tech people, so really, me putting together this business was strictly from scratch. No sort of like, here's a, a loan, or we are investing in your company. This is, what do they say, bootstrap or something like that. And so for me, as soon as I armed them with that knowledge of AI and how these things work, right away they can spot things like this, and their algorithms start to feed them content that's more aligned with how they're thinking now. So, more stuff about AI founders and how AI technology works. They've sort of sidestepped all of that deep fake slop that comes with normal people not knowing about AI. You guys are going to get bombarded with AI slop. That's it. If you start to learn about AI, your algorithm is going to start to send you content about learning how AI works and about how you can use AI to better your life. So there's two different groups that I'm noticing. There's the groups that don't know about AI. You guys get bombarded with slops and scams. And then there's a group that does know about AI. You get fed information about how to build workflow systems, and seeing how top performing AI teams are doing it worldwide. So really, knowledge is your best defense against this AI deepfake disease that's infecting the internet. And because I've done a lot of AI content creation already, I can sort of spot that stuff really quick. Some are really good. Some of these guys are getting extremely good. But once you're in the space for a little bit, you sort of know what's real and what's not, and it's not so much of a concern for you anymore. Now, what's this going? Let me see. What other questions? This thing looks like it's focusing more on the scam stuff, but actually, you know what? This is a really good conversation. So, more towards the how deepfakes might be prone to hurting older people more, or older people might be more prone to being vulnerable to deepfake stuff. Let's talk about, so the AI is basically saying, let's talk about what's actually happening on the ground. One of the fastest growing scams in Canada, so-called grandparent scams. Scammers use AI to mimic the voice of a grandchild and call a senior saying, "Grandma, I'm in trouble, I need money." And because the voice sounds real, it can be incredibly convincing. And then it asks me, "Alex, have you seen Canadians react to this kind of story in your own work?" And I I came out of the gym the other day. I had a older guy tell me he just got scammed. It wasn't an AI scam; it was another scam. But like, older people, you guys are so susceptible to scams, man. It really saddens me that, I mean, I don't. It didn't. It's sad. It's more disappointing to know that you guys lived in a world where you trusted everyone who called you on the phone. You trusted everyone who emailed you. I don't trust a goddamn email. I get emails from Facebook, Google. I don't trust any of them. I literally have such little engagement with my emails that, unless it's just a notification that I've seen a million times coming from these systems, I ignore it. And because I know that people who really want to get in touch with me, they're either going to call my cell phone, call Sasha, or book a discovery call, or what have you. Sasha, I can see the calls to Sasha that are from scammers. Sasha will literally on the phone say, "This sounds like a scam," and start to grill the person who's calling. I don't even hear the conversation. I don't care. I'm using AI to defend myself against scams. So I know that seniors, you guys are coming from a world where, a lot of you didn't even have the internet growing up. B, a lot of you got computers when you were in your adulthood, so you don't know how fast and pervasive the technology truly is. From young kids having access to the technology at 12 years old. And C, you're just too trusting. I mean, And it's so funny because I call and try and do business with other people, and they don't trust me. They don't trust me because they think I'm some random guy on the phone, or doing some random marketing, and I got some scam tech that they don't want to pay for. Meanwhile, we have like literal doctors and hospitals trying to get us to help them with their technology. No problem, we'll help them. I don't mind being called a scammer. I don't mind being called a charlatan. Like, I've been getting that for 20, probably 20 years now in my sales career, that it's just part of the program. Your real clients that you provide value for, they're just going to keep paying you. They're going to tell their people that you do really great work, and you're just going to get more business. You just got to break through that. So, if you're a young business person, don't give up. But if you're an older person, stop believing everything you hear and see that's on your computer or phone. Please, like the amount of older people around me that come to me say, oh, I got hacked, my friend got hacked, we got hacked, I think we got scammed. And it's like they're all coming to me because they know I'm the tech guy. And I always tell them to learn more about tech, learn more about AI, and defend yourself. So what's next here? It's not just AI phone calls. We're seeing AI generated political ads, fake celebrity endorsements, and even manipulated news clips, all designed to spread misinformation. That's why today we want to give Canadians some practical tools to protect themselves. So hopefully by the end of this video and like the end of these conversation pieces, you guys can really get an idea of, hey, like, this AI stuff, it's dangerous because there's a lot of bad actors using a very easy to use technology. So arm yourselves with how that, or know a knowledge on how the technology works, and be able to identify and recognize it the moment you see it. That's the best way to manage this new wave of existence of content creation online. It's not going to be a regulation. What are regulators going to do when 100,000 bad actors with access to deepfake AI video content creation platforms? Let's just say we had 100,000 of them with access to this platform. And there was a regulation in place that says if you use AI to make fake content, you go to jail for 100 years. Now, of those 100,000 people, let's just say all of them tried to make AI content, half of them went to jail, the other half didn't, or maybe a quarter of them stopped because they didn't want to go to jail. Like, you're still going to have, out of that 100,000 people, 10,000 people building tools, building content, not getting caught, posting it on Facebook, posting it on Google, having it run as an ad on YouTube. I get Mark Carney on my YouTube ads telling me to buy crypto from some random crypto website. Every day I get that. And I'm an ad guy. I love ads. I'll click on it. I'll look at the ad because I really like to see how people advertise and generate new business. And I get fed these ads all the time. I probably get fed more and more deep fakes than anyone because I'm the only one clicking on them. But I never engage with what's actually going on. I will explore and learn, though, because I want to defend myself from other things that come down the pipe. So, I mention this in every video. Don't be afraid of AI. If anything, step into the darkness, into that black box of uncertainty. Learn something, because then you're going to be able to better defend yourself from these deep fakes. You're going to be able to make your resolve harder in saying you're not so affected by what you see on your screen anymore. I feel like Canadians are so affected by what they see on their screen. Like, we're like, oh my gosh, something on my phone came up and it got me emotional and it got me upset. How about you have some semblance of resolve and just look at it and keep scrolling and recognize, yeah, this is AI shit. It's annoying, but who cares? I'm not going to waste my time dealing with it. I'm going to keep scrolling to what I want, or better yet, I'm going to put my phone down. I wish to God that more Canadians just simply put their phones down, or jumped off a laptop and used ChatGPT some more, because we'd be more productive. So I really like this conversation because it's allowing me to sort of freestyle and my perspective on AI and the deepfake stuff. Because for me, that was something that I saw very early. I'm like, hell, the internet's going to be the dead net in 5 years or less, because AI content creation is insane. I mean, we do AI content creation all the time. That's the only way that we can keep pace with the new frontier of marketing is AI. But we understand that, some people are just putting up YouTube channels and Instagram channels just to get clicks on their Gorilla Man, and that's upsetting people. And people just don't like AI because of Gorilla Man. It's like, well, just don't look at him. You know. Next question for me is Alex. One of the best ways to show people the risks and opportunities is to actually demonstrate how easy it is to generate AI content. You don't need coding skills, just a prompt. Here's one you can copy paste live in the chat GC so your viewer can see how it works. Create a simple step-by-step checklist called the Canadian Deepfake Spotting Kit. Look at this. I love how creative this shit is. Like, it's literally building me tools that I can share with you guys that'll arm you with the knowledge you need to understand that, hey, this stuff is not real. This stuff is fake. I need to be aware of that. So for me, like, these conversations are, I mean, and not even that many people are going to see this video, and I don't care, but because YouTube is going to scrape the transcript of this video, look at the things that I'm saying, and then put this right directly in front of the people who are the most concerned. They're going to like and subscribe and interact with however they feel. But I don't need to go viral creating Gorilla Man videos. I can slowly yet surely build up an audience of people who are maybe afraid of AI, but think, this guy's trying his best to convince us that AI is not all bad. I just have to learn more about it. And that, to me, is the most valuable, because that means you're adopting the technology. So here's the prompt it gave me. Create a simple step-by-step checklist called the Canadian Deepfake Spotting Kit. Keep it short and easy to read and focused on scams like fake calls, videos, and messages. Make sure tips are practical for seniors and families. When you run this ChatGPT generated checklist, viewers, this is something you can copy and print out and share with your parents or grandparents. Okay, so this is giving me sort of the checklist that I got before for the phone calls, which, I mean, you can go to the other video, it's going to be there. I want to get a checklist for AI generated content that is more visual. So we'll do that after. So my AI co-host here is saying, here's the good news. AI just isn't a threat. When used responsibly, it can also protect Canadians. For example, tools that detect voice cloning, software that verifies video authenticity, and AI-powered call blockers are being developed right here in Canada. And agencies like yours, Alex, are showing how AI can actually make communication safer and more efficient. I am not 100% sure on the types of software that's being developed in Canada to prevent or detect AI generated content or AI or video authenticity. That's a bit of a speculation I think the AI is making here. But if it is, 100% really enjoy that. And that's the one thing that's the one thing I have to consider whenever I'm doing conversations or having conversations with AI. What I'm reading might not necessarily be 100% rooted in truth. Just like with everything you read on the internet, even major media outlets, are you believing every single word that you're reading? Or are you taking in information from multiple sources and then making your decisions based on the most data possible? That's really the world we're going into. There's no single source of truth now. Truth is crowdsourced by all of the different available opinions or observations or notes. I don't even want to say facts, because the word fact is rooted in scientific observation, but we're now even at a point where people will look at a group of say 100,000 people again. If 99,000 people are saying the same thing and only 1,000 people are saying what the truth is, then the new truth would become what the 99,000 people are saying. And that's sort of the world we live in now. We live in a world where whoever's screaming the loudest and the most is generally going to be considered the most truthful. So we have to arm ourselves with the knowledge and understanding that, hey, I have to take a look at the information that I'm giving, cross-reference it with other information, and then make my decision. And with the AI deepfake stuff, it's really, really important that we are understanding, like, this, what I'm looking at right now might not necessarily be what's considered real or authentic. Someone just created it for me to view and emotionally react to it. So to everyone watching, this is my AI co-host again. Deepfakes are real, scams are on the rise, and you're not powerless. Share this video with your family, especially your parents, grandparents. Use a checklist and see if something reported. If you see something suspicious, report it. Now, obviously, we don't want to live in a world where you're just scrolling through YouTube or Instagram and trying to report all your AI deepfakes. You'll literally waste your life doing that. Just keep on scrolling. Head down, keep scrolling, or just drop the phone. I know Canadians are using their phone too damn much. Drop the phone. Don't get emotional about the AI shit and carry on. I wonder if YouTube's going to take me down for swearing. Anyways, why am I typing again? I'm getting used to this dictation. Okay, that was great. We got about 25 minutes of that, but I want to do a couple more minutes on you just creating a YouTube thumbnail for this article. And I'm going to give you a picture of myself as well. And I want you to come up with a great YouTube thumbnail that will really generate clicks and hopefully a lot of engagement, because this, God knows, we need engagement for videos like this. And I'm going to give you a picture of myself so people can recognize me and they can see it's part of the series. Before I give you all that, can you sort of come up with some ideas on what a good YouTube thumbnail would be? I want the word deepfake, AI deepfake, to be in there, center of the text, stuff like that. But give me some ideas. Just reading my response. I'm going to add the picture of myself so people can recognize me, and we'll see what it comes up with. This is what people do to create AI content, guys. I'm literally showing you an example right now. Got it. Thanks for sharing your photo. Since this is YouTube, the thumbnail has to grab attention. Look, it's going to show you why you guys click on stuff. That is how powerful it is. And people are using these instructions to build out perfect content to make you click, to make you engage. You guys are the products. The people who are putting the AI automations together, they're building business models so they can get revenue from Instagram. So if you really want to combat AI, don't engage with it. Don't engage with the deep fakes. Now, I wouldn't say don't engage with AI completely disengage from it. That would be bad. You want to use AI to defend yourself. You want to use AI to be productive. But if you don't want to reward these bad actors who are putting together this AI slop, just skip past it. Don't like it. Don't comment. And eventually the algorithm is going to be like, you know what, this guy doesn't like this stuff, or this woman doesn't like this stuff. Don't send it to them anymore. So, got it. Thanks for sharing your photos. Since this is for YouTube, the thumbnail has to grab attention fast, make the theme instantly clear, and feel consistent across your video series so people recognize you as a trusted host. Here's some strong directions we can take for your AI deepfake episode. So I love how it's like really trying to put together like a little series for me here. Like these are all like just help for to help you guys. But if you find value in it, like, share, subscribe, and I'll be on the next one, no problem. So let's see, shock and awareness style, AI deepfakes, big text. I like that one. Empathy and protection style, AI deepfake scams. Don't get fooled. I mean, I would say, get fooled a couple times so you see how it works, and then see how people are building stuff, and then you'll never get fooled again. Storytelling with a scam example. Clean and authority style, AI deepfakes, how to spot scams. I think I like that one, actually. I think I like that one. Okay, we are going to go with, why am I doing this again? Okay, we want to go with number 4, clean and authority style, AI deepfakes, how to spot scams. But I also want you to change the checklist, make it a bit more comprehensive, in that we want to be able to have some ability to identify more visual scams for content that is picture and video. So put together a more comprehensive checklist. After I've confirmed the checklist, then we'll create the thumbnail. Man, this is a lot easier than typing. I think once I'm able to even get this voice command for sending the prompt, it's going to be amazing. Canadian deepfake spotting kit, voice and phone scams, pause and verify, don't trust caller ID, challenge questions, background clues, so listen for odd pauses, robotic echoes, or natural tone shifts. Yeah, even though I tell you right now, that's going to be something that gets a lot harder in the future because AI is getting better at that. Photo scams. This is some of the stuff where you guys see AI photos, unnatural details, strange text, lighting and shadows, reverse image search. Use Google's image or TinEye to see if the photo is stolen or altered. So there's all sorts of ways you can sort of figure out whether or not this stuff is a scam. The best thing to do is simply not engage with it and go by it. You just, people get so upset. My Facebook feed's getting filled with AI. Just don't go on Facebook. Like, I don't use Facebook or Instagram or TikTok unless we're just putting up content, because to me it's annoying. Like, I see all the like crap that people are putting on Instagram and Facebook. I'm like, God damn, our society is deteriorating at a warp speed. And then all the AI on top of that, like I'm pretty much done from that stuff. The scrolling really gets to me, but I do like creating helpful content because it not only helps the business, but the feedback that I get is like, "Wow, you're doing something helpful. That's great." Instead of putting up trash. Video scams, mouth and lip sync. This is one that we're gonna hold on to as long as we can. But as soon as the models are able to wrap their heads around that, it's over. You won't be able to tell a damn difference. Blinking patterns. AI faces sometimes blink too slowly, too often. Seeing unnatural nuances in faces, fingers, lighting is really helpful. Glitches and artifacts. Look for sudden blurs, weird skin textures, glitchy edges, and round faces. And then context check. Is this video reported by trusted Canadian outlets? And this is where I had to even put the brakes on. Hold the phone. How much are we trusting these outlets? That's up to you. When it comes to news media, anything I see online, I don't trust a damn thing unless it's written in an act on a law website, or where the Canadian regulations are being written. I don't trust a damn thing I see online, because there's always someone behind the screen. Like, I know, because I put content online and I look at, if I were to look at myself from a person's perspective, like, would I trust that guy? If I didn't know me? No, of course I wouldn't. But that's what I apply to everyone. I'd have to get constant bombardment of content from me to say, what, this guy's legit, he's consistent, he's trying to help. Great. That's why we have hundreds of videos. So if it's, I mean, I've even seen some news outlets put up AI content thinking it was real, and they're supposed to be the trusted source. So don't trust everything you see on the news. General spot check rules: too urgent, too emotional. Scammers, they prey on emotions. Scammers will prey on your reactions. And I hope this gets cut into a short clip, because everyone needs to see, the more emotional you are, the more prone you are to getting scammed. That's the bottom line. You must have internal resolve when you are engaging with digital environments. You must be strong enough to ignore. You must be courageous enough to walk through the dark without any help or guidance. And I tell you right now, if you can do that, this AI stuff is going to be nothing to you. You're going to be using AI to help you, live a better life, hopefully. Let's see what else we got. Deepfake detection apps. There's browser extensions you can use. All that stuff is like, if you're having to download browser extension and apps to see, is this video fake or not? Oh my gosh. Like, you're probably too deep down the rabbit hole. Take a step back, have a couple deep breaths, keep calm, and carry on. Just ignore it. Bottom line is, arm yourself with knowledge and ignore it. Key reminder: share this kit with your parents, grandparents, and kids. And a few simple checks can prevent major losses. Man, whenever I hear about an older person getting scammed, it really does. I think about my parents. Like, my parents, they're very old, they're in the 70s, 80s, and I would be devastated if I had to get my mom off of social media completely, because it's just become too dangerous an environment for her. She's too loving, she's too trusting. So she's done from social media, because that environment is not good for those types of people who love and trust. It's good for people who are a little bit more hardened and a little bit more, I wouldn't want to say aggressive, but just have a lot of more know-how about how this stuff works and how ferocious people can be. My mom loves everyone. That's just how her heart works. So for me to see that, and says, you can't be in this environment because there's way too many predators out here. And I have to arm her with knowledge. I'm constantly saying, hey, this, when you see this, don't do this. When you see that, don't do this, or do this. So for me, making, if I can help another mom out there, another grandma out there, like, that's the biggest takeaway from these videos. So I think the video is done. I'm going to see if we can create the thumbnail for YouTube. Okay, that was great. We had a great conversation. Everything was recorded. Now I want you to create that thumbnail that's going to be used for the YouTube video using my picture. Also, I think for this, if you can put me into a white tank top or what's called a wife beater, that'd be much appreciated. But make the style like friendly anime style, where people see my face and they're like, "Oh, look at this friendly cartoon. I want to click on this guy's face." And I want to have deep fake AI as a center text, and then obviously the subheading text, all centered so that it's easy to see on YouTube. But make sure you put me in that tank top, because I usually make the videos in the tank top, and people are going to be able to recognize me easier. Well, that's a pretty big instruction, and you can see how much detail I put into that. Where that's just it's creating content for me right now. It's creating the image. I don't know if it's going to get past privacy policy with my attire, but or not the privacy policy or the safe content. Well, we'll see what it says. It should be okay. Like even OpenAI has a lot of safety guardrails and filters in its system, where if it senses that people are making content that might be malicious or dangerous, then it will stop the content creation. Like before, when we were making content for TikTok, we were trying to have AI agents running around with a whole bunch of super sexy sports cars and money and stuff like that. And there is a control in ChatGPT or OpenAI where you can't use any sort of capitalistic symbolism or promotion of money and greed and stuff like that. Those types of symbols are banned. Like you can't, the engine won't allow you to create content like that, which is good, because it's, we don't want to promote just like materialism and sorry, it was not capitalism, materialism, and that sort of those sort of values. But at the same time, you sort of have to think, well, who's in control of what we can create and what we can't create? Well, it's going to be the people who run the platform. And that's where you have to think, those people are the ones that you want to be paying attention to. What kind of rules and regulations do they have in place? What sort of ideological stances do they have on their AI technologies? Because that's what it really comes down to. The types of content you can make is going to be determined by the guardrails that the people who built the platform put up. So this image creation is taking a little bit longer than I'd like. So I might skip over to the YouTube channel real quick just to show you some of the other videos we're making in the series. And then this one, youtube.com/PeteDemand. So this is the YouTube channel. You can see the series is starting, introducing Canadians AI. Look at that, you spelled that wrongly. Thumbnail creation, stop AI voice scams. The next one, Canada losing AI. Like the conversation, we're getting there. I mean, it's taken 500 videos, but I don't care how many videos it takes, because we're using a lot of tools to create them very quickly. And if you guys can just get information, if we get 100 subscribers, great. 1,000 subscribers, phenomenal. That just means that we're finding the people who care about this stuff in Canada or across the United States. They can take value from putting AI into their operations, but also arming themselves with some tools to prevent AI scams. Wow. Look at that thumbnail. I can't believe, I mean, I'm wearing a black one today, but you can see me wearing the white one sometimes. And I'm definitely going to be using this type of thumbnail from now on, because I think that looks great. And this was generated by AI. It's friendly. It's safe. I mean, if you don't like my wife beater, and that seems a little, me even saying those words, wife beater, might get me in trouble on YouTube. I don't know. We're gonna find out. I just been calling this that shirt because that was how it was called when I was a kid, and I even girls called it that when I was younger. It might be called something different now, but this type of content creation for me is really, really meaningful, because it's taking all of the conversation we had here taking my picture and then contextualizing it in a way where it's, hey, you know what? This guy's trying to help us. He's trying to give us information to arm ourselves, and he's just doing it, in a very casual way. There's no, I'm not wearing a suit or anything like that. This is for the everyday Canadian looking at this situation, going, you know what? This guy's trying to help. Maybe I can listen to a few more of his words. With that being said, we're on for 40 minutes now. You don't need to hear me talk anymore on this particular topic. I might make another video on it. But I really do believe once we get more videos up like this, Canadians start to see like, hey, we can use AI to help ourselves or defend ourselves. It'll be really meaningful in the long run, and it'll help us adopt the technology in a safe and productive way, guys. I'm trying to get us to productivity. Whatever it takes, I'm going to get us there. Looking forward to the next one. Bye now.